Hey, are you super busy and tired of this dating life and feel like this mess sucks? Oh my God, like the dating game has changed so much that you wonder, like, this is fine, this ain't it. If this is how you feeling, then listen up because I completely get you. You know, like the roles have changed so much. Like the men right now, they are on a whole new thing, right? Their vibe is like, what can you do for me? And what how are you how much money you make and they want you to open the doors and you to do all the things for them like pay the bills or let you go to work, let them stay home, and they want to know how you can show up for them and provide. And it just ain't it as a successful young woman, or seasoned woman. Okay. Like when you've been working, paying your own bills, raising your kids, or if you don't have any kids, traveling, doing all the things on your own, you want a break. You're ready for a person to step in and help you. And even if you don't need them to help you, you just may want them to want to do it. It's like a whole thing. And now you're just like getting it can be very frustrating where you're just like, well, what on earth is wrong with these people? And the online dating space is even worse. It's like, all right, are they single? Are they single, single? Or are they single, single, single? And you're just like, I don't know which one they are. I have to ask because you got to ask all the questions. If you don't ask, you're going to start dating this person and find out, oh, he got a girlfriend or he has a wife. Somebody that's claiming him as his girlfriend or somebody that's in rotation of the going around and doing, the naughty things. Or you're adding yourself into a whole conglomerate of things where, maybe you're his source to help him, you know, build himself up emotionally so he can go support her on the emotional side. Or he can be, and then you're sitting here trusting and believing him because you're a go-getter and handling your business, and then later on you're finding out this man has been lying to you or he's not all there. And now it's just like, I'm a good person. Why is he not listening? Why does he choose this person instead of me? I did all these things for him. I did all the I supported him, I inspired him, I listened to him, and at the end of the day he then chose this other person, who probably wasn't working as hard or didn't have all the things that he was requiring you to have. And now we're in a situation where you're starting all over again, and it's heartbreaking. It's just a sad experience that you come in contact with this person, and um, he or she becomes like this narcissist in your life, or you feel as though you've been bamboozled and lied to you in so many different directions that you just are now heartbroken, because you didn't see the flags. You didn't, and you're not sure why this is still going on. And the hard thing to really get is to see where is it, why is it you? Why is this happening? And on one aspect, the men nowadays, they've had about 10, maybe 20 years of women stepping into their power, meaning we've fought for equality, because for longest, and still things are going on. I've been in the workforce in a while, but where women weren't getting paid and doing just as much work, if not more, than others, and women really have fought for levels of equality. And in this process, they have stepped into their power and started owning their value and owning their worth. Now, to a degree, that's how exactly how it should be, because we needed to fight for that. At one point, they were just making us, because we were born with the vagina, they were just making you a concubine and couldn't own property, couldn't own anything, didn't even have a voice for anything. And a lot of and even further back, a lot of abuse was going on, towards women. So there was a definite need to fight. However, in this process, there's also been some new habits that were created. And it's not to just blame the woman, but when you come into a space of a masculine energy where you are now providing for yourself and doing things on your own, you step into this masculine role of provision where you're working, you're setting goals, you're doing the strategy, you're jumping right into, like, we all have a masculine, men and women, and feminine energy. And the masculine energy is this provider energy, right? And it's also the very logical, where the feminine is more softer and receiving, the masculine is going after and going and doing things. And the feminine energy tends to kind of sit back, like the womb, like the egg in the womb, where it kind of just waits until she decides which sperm it will take in to make the baby. So when we step into that those masculine roles, we automatically shift, like, our system, where now we're just operating this different way. And where we could be, where if you ever heard a man say, I don't want a man to come home to, or women aren't submissive anymore, they may not understand the whole masculine feminine energy, because it's not something that's like taught everywhere from when we're birth, but they understand what they are looking for as a man, and how we may show up, whether we're showing up in our feminine or we're showing up more in our masculine. um, it deters him from being able to pursue you, because now he's like, okay, well, she's already doing all the things. I don't know how I can provide things to her, and I don't know how I can protect her. And then if you have 10, almost 20 years of women just providing for the man, and just showing him, giving him things and doing all this stuff, he has now moved into a more softer role. So now we have a lot of men out here who are just more in their feminine and not showing up as men the way we are. And it's not to get into like a gender role, but as of how our biological, how our bodies are made biologically, they have an innate way to go for things that they want. Just like how a dog and a cat operate. If you think about that, right? So say the dog, like they say, dog is man's best friend. And most women, not all, tend to go lean towards, a cat. Okay. So if you look at how a man and a cat, I'm sorry, a dog and a cat operate, right? A dog, if you throw a ball, the dog will chase the ball. Or if a dog sees something like a cat, a rabbit, a bird, a squirrel, a dog will chase. You would bolt out of if you own a dog and you have him on a leash, he will bust through that leash trying to chase after one of these animals, right? He is a hunter, just like the masculine energy. They are hunters. If they see a woman that they want, that they desire, or they see a job that they want, they see a career and moving up position up the ladder. If they see something they want, they will work their butts off until they get it. So if you know a successful man, or you met somebody that you've been drawn, that you're attracted to, and you love how he moves in the business world, he is in his masculine, and he is going for the things that he wants. And a lot of times as women, they tend to see all the things and make excuses for him that he's so busy, and then you don't allow him to pursue you, and to really work for you the same way he's worked for his business. And then later on you're wondering why you lost the man. All right. Because a lot of times, because now when you're working as hard as he is, you're now in your masculine energy. So you're in that, just the way that the dog's going to chase after his thing. Once you set your goal, you're moving towards it. Once you set another goal, you're moving towards it. So on and so forth. It's the same with the man. When he sees a business that he wants, or when he sees a woman, anything that he wants, he's going to move towards it. When you are in your same masculine energy, you're doing all the moving, and he's not. So now he's like, okay, I'll focus on my goals, and any woman that decides to throw themselves at me, he's now in his feminine when it comes to relationships. Okay. That's how that's just how it's landing. All right. Does it make it right? No, but this is how the woman who may not be on her corporate ladder role will receive this man. Okay. Because she's operating like the cat. Now, whether you don't like cats or like cats, this is still how cats operate. Okay. So cats, if you're not sure, watch Discovery Channel and watch how the lions and the lionesses operate, and then watch how cats operate. A cat will go like this, and they'll hide in a corner. And when the ball rolls, or a mouse comes by, or whatever it is, a little bug flies, a fly, they sit and they wait and they wait and they wait till it gets a little closer, and they might hunch up a little bit, and then they wait until they pounce. Then they go for it. Okay. They are not like the dog where as soon as they see it, they're bolting for it. They wait. They're patient. They're in their feminine, just like a woman, just like the egg in your womb space. It waits and waits until the right millions and millions of sperms coming, and she waits and she waits until she decides to allow one in. That's how we're supposed to be in our feminine. Okay. Um, so you're like, but Keisha, I'm supposed to wait till this guy comes. Well, you're gonna meet men. You can go outside now and meet for 3 or 4 men, but you have to be in your receptive mode. You have to be open to knowing that you need a man and that you want him, or you want this person in your life. And once you want and need and know this already, now you've at least started the process to allow yourself to step more back into your feminine role. It's about learning how to turn it on and turn it off, and being able to move back and forth between your masculine and feminine energy to be able to attract him and to allow yourself to move more into receiving and allowing him to step into that role of pursuing you, of wanting to provide for you, of wanting to protect you. Okay. I know some people do the work and they're like, Keisha, these dudes, but they still not doing anything, Keisha. There are some that need help. Okay. We won't act like they don't. All right. And I think some men do know they need help. All right. And to not emasculate all of them, or to put them down, we have to just hold grace and space for them. So that way we can be able to start to make them feel safe enough to open up about whatever emotional baggage and things that they're carrying that they need to release. Also, to retrain the process, because it's been a two-part thing, you know. Well, I won't sit and put all women on the witch field like we just completely created this whole problem, because it's been a two-part thing. But it's about, if we're trying to understand, like when you watch certain TV shows, movies, commercials, you'll see how much it's been embedded in us to consistently emasculate the man. And it's almost like a pre-designed program where you're like, okay, let's create some dissension in the relationship era between men and women. And it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it, and then you'll start to see the patterns of what brings on emasculation. Like a lot of times we think, and I know you're probably thinking, oh, well, I don't emasculate my man. I'm not the type of person to be yelling or screaming or telling him off or calling him names. And you may not be. However, you may still be emasculating him. And whether it's through your tonality, how your facial, like this 80% of communication is actually your physical, not necessarily the words that come out of your mouth. So your body language, how you're looking at him, the energy you're giving off from the thoughts that you're carrying, all of those things are vibrations that are going out. And it's not to get you to walk on eggshells, but it is to get you to be aware of how much it does impact them, on why they may choose one person over another. And in your mind, you might think, well, that person's like a weaker pick, or he chose the weaker woman. We've even seen memes like that. Well, if he didn't choose you, it's because he chose the weaker person. And if you're really trying to have that forever love, that lifetime love, there are going to be ups and downs, and knowing how to maneuver through that and not step into that toxic energy, that as women we can give off also. Men, y'all do it too. I'm gonna have another video for y'all. It ain't off the hook, but it's like learning that we can know how to heal and move through these things and be aware of it. Then we can be able to start to blend together. Just to keep it fair, men, like understanding what women want, and knowing that sometimes when we're communicating, that we may be coming from an unhealed place. So maybe we won't communicate it the way y'all want to hear it. So just being able to be patient with your woman and having grace with her and allowing her to communicate and being attentive, whether you're paying attention to her body language or paying attention to what she's saying. Not mansplain her, but maybe ask more questions so that way she can feel safe enough to re-explain it in case you don't understand, or by maybe saying things like restating the question or restating what she said so that way you can get better clarity, or some simple ways to help the communication gap as you're trying to, really make your relationship work. All right. So, my name is Kesha Martin. I am an energy alignment specialist. I do energy work and coaching to help individuals like yourself, especially busy executives that um, are maybe struggling or not having the fulfilled relationships that they are looking for, or maybe they're not feeling authentically happy. So I offer one-to-one sessions as well as I offer group healings, and I also have tons of like information to help you move through these stages so that way you can have a more fulfilling life. All right. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification so that way you can be the first one to get my new videos. All right. And I will see you again in the next time.